ABS is Awin, Barratt, Siegel Wine Agencies. It is a wine importer and wholesaler. It was founded by Michael Awin. Michael Awin had a wine shop, and then he grew it into an importing agent over the years as wine became more and more popular. Yeah, currently we supply mainly the off-trade and supermarkets, wholesalers, no on-trade specifically. Yeah, we've won as IWC Importer of the Year 6 times because we have our wide variety of fairly good producers. That's why we took so long to move to a new order processing software, because the old one just works, and it was like, why, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But it does get to a point where it might become broken, and then you can't fix it because you can't just change software overnight. Like it's a very long process. So that's why we kind of adopted a new system. We'd rather spend money on that than something else, like kind of get online sales going, because you can't, you want to have a robust system that runs your company for the future. Then there was a very stagnant platform. It was built for the wine industry. It was a very good platform, and it worked brilliantly for what it was. There was not many resources available, so if you onboarded a new person, you either had to have someone internally explain everything that was going on, or you'd have to make your own resources. We just had to move away. But obviously it's a very challenging process because there are not many. Wine is quite a specific product. There are not many options for wine and wine stock management, and building your own or going through one of the more bespoke things is very, very expensive, like prohibitively so for a company of our size. We went through 5 or 6 demos with various companies. I can't remember exactly it. And then one of them was with wine owners, with Nick. They didn't have a product that suited us in terms of import for the importer side and all the different ways we sell wine, but they agreed to build it basically. So we were like the first, as far as I know, we were the trial run of importers, which they were hoping to grow that as a product for other importers, which I think they have done. It worked very well. But obviously all the fact that it's a cloud-based system, and also Xero. So obviously having a separate accounting software like Xero is very useful because it has all the online features and help and all that kind of stuff, and it's very transparent. And also any bookkeeper, any person can go in and have some understanding of what's going on because it's very well laid out, and it's just a great accounting software. And there's no hidden idiosyncrasies because it's just a solid platform that everyone, the millions will use. So once it was up and running and all the processes were in place, it's made a world of difference. The fact that the transparency, the fact that anyone can get on from anywhere and it just works, and also Xero, the fact that, or even, the hub itself, the fact that the invoices and everything's just saved on there, and you can put as much information as you want on every sales order, every purchase order, anywhere you want. You can just upload information and it all gets pushed through to Xero, so the accountants are happy, the bookkeepers are happy, and it's just it's every process has been made easier. And also it's just because you have a support team, and any issues or any help you need, you can just ask. It's not a question of finding someone who knows. It's a question of you could just ask the source and say, how does this work? Or there's an FAQ already, which obviously is great because it just explains how to do something, but you haven't got to then write yourself. You can just say, go and look at the FAQs, and if you can't find it there, ask the hub and they'll tell you, which is great. It manages almost every transaction we do one way or another, with a few exceptions, but the 90% of our business is done, 98% is done through the hub. It does all purchase orders and all sales orders and invoicing, which obviously goes back to Xero, but it does actually invoicing on the Wine Hub. It sends orders through an API to LCB, where we have all our stock stored, so it sends the delivery orders through there. It does all internal transfers. We transfer stock between locations, so it manages that. We also sell wine direct sales, which are direct sales when we sell directly to customers without obviously going through our own bond, FOB sales. So we had order processors that had been trained on the hub and knew how the hub worked, and now they can do J&D with no further training, that's exactly what you want. You want a software that can just work like that, and it's worked perfectly. And that they obviously sell to the on-trade. J&D sells to the on-trade, so that's a more demanding in terms of next day deliveries and that kind of stuff. So having having the LTV integration is great for that. As you can just click. I mean, to be fair, Vintner had that as well, but it's better with the hub. It's more, makes more sense. It works better in the process flow. You haven't got to go and you can see each one that's been sent, and you can know if it's failed, which is obviously quite important. Given it's an API, obviously the room for growth is significant. That's a huge selling point of having software as a service, obviously, because you keep developing stuff and it keeps adding to our package. Well, we didn't even need it necessarily. We didn't hope for it, but if it comes, like, it's great. So.